Welcome to Factual America, where we cut through the noise and tackle America's biggest issues, unfiltered, unafraid, and always with the facts. Today, we're putting a magnifying glass to one of the most explosive debates in our country, the southern border. Is America's open border an accident of incompetence? Or is it a deliberate strategy, a crisis by design? Get ready, because this topic has more twists and turns than a desert canyon, and we're about to explore every one. Let's set the stage. Every day, thousands of people cross our southern border, overwhelming border agents, straining local communities, and sparking heated debates in Washington, D.C. Reports show record numbers of encounters at the border in recent years, millions of people entering, many without proper documentation. The cost of this influx? Billions for taxpayers and untold challenges for law enforcement, local hospitals, and schools. But the biggest cost of all may not be measured in dollars. It may be in our national identity, security, and the very rule of law. Before we dive deeper, let's consider a simple question. Who benefits from a border in chaos? Proponents of open borders argue it's about compassion, giving desperate people a chance at the American dream. Critics say it's a cover for lawlessness, organized crime, and even political manipulation. To get to the truth, we need to follow the money, the laws, and the history. Historically, America's border wasn't always such a flashpoint. In the mid-20th century, both Republican and Democratic administrations enforced immigration laws, and there was a bipartisan consensus: secure borders, legal migration, and assimilation. What changed? Starting in the 1980s, and especially over the past 2 decades, migration patterns surged, and political rhetoric became more polarized. From the Reagan amnesty in 1986 to the present day, every administration has promised solutions, but the numbers keep climbing. Let's get into the current crisis. In just the last few years, encounters at the southern border have hit historic highs. According to Customs and Border Protection, over 2.7 million encounters were recorded in 2023 alone. That's more than the population of some American states. Meanwhile, drug cartels and human traffickers exploit the chaos to flood our neighborhoods with fentanyl and traffic vulnerable people, including children, deep into the country. But here's something you don't hear much on mainstream news. Who is profiting from this chaos? Smugglers charge as much as $10,000 per person to bring migrants across the border. That's a $13 billion industry by some estimates, making cartels richer and more powerful than ever. With so much money at stake, some ask, is our border policy truly about compassion? Or is it enabling a criminal gold rush under the nose of the federal government? So, who is responsible? Critics point fingers at the Biden administration, accusing it of rolling back Trump-era enforcement measures like Remain in Mexico, border wall construction, and stricter asylum standards. The Biden White House says their approach is more humane. But the numbers speak for themselves. Illegal entries have skyrocketed, and many migrants are released into the U.S. with court dates years in the future, if they show up at all. Supporters of open borders policies say America is a nation of immigrants. Our birth rate is falling, and new workers are essential for the economy. But doesn't a functioning country require laws and a secure border? Every sovereign nation controls who enters and ensures the safety of its citizens. Why should America be held to a different standard? Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Some analysts suggest the apparent chaos is not just incompetence, it's intentional. Why? Let's talk political power. Census data shows that illegal immigrants are counted when determining congressional districts and electoral college votes, even though they can't legally vote. In practice, this means states with the highest numbers of illegal immigrants gain more representation in Congress. Is this about helping people or tipping the scales in elections? And then there's the humanitarian crisis. Videos have surfaced showing small children abandoned in the desert, women assaulted, and migrants drowned in the Rio Grande. Meanwhile, American towns near the border are overwhelmed. Hospitals and schools straining under the pressure, crime rates spiking, local budgets stretched to the breaking point. If compassion is the goal, why does the policy encourage such deadly risk and suffering? Ironically, an open border may be the least compassionate policy of all. Don't just take my word for it. Listen to the people on the front lines. Sheriffs, mayors, ranchers, and even former migrants describe a border that's out of control, with local communities left to fend for themselves while DC politicians argue. Texas has spent billions deploying National Guard troops and building its own barriers. Arizona and New Mexico communities have demanded more federal support. So far, most say they aren't getting it. Let's not forget about the drugs. Fentanyl, a synthetic opioid 50 times stronger than heroin, is pouring across the border and devastating communities nationwide. According to the CDC, over 70,000 Americans died from synthetic opioid overdoses in 2022. Border chaos isn't just about immigration. It's about American lives lost, families shattered, and communities gutted. But why aren't our leaders acting? Is the system truly broken? Or is it working exactly as designed for certain interests? Some skeptics point out that chaos at the border keeps attention focused there, while larger issues, like corporate outsourcing, political corruption, or global power plays, stay out of headlines. In other words, border chaos serves as a smokescreen for bigger agendas. Here's a twist that might surprise you. Major corporations benefit from mass migration too. More people mean more consumers, and often cheaper labor. Industries like agriculture, construction, hospitality, and even tech quietly depend on the steady flow of low-wage workers. While middle-class Americans worry about job security and wages, big business profits handsomely from a system that looks chaotic on the surface but functions smoothly for their bottom line. Meanwhile, charities and non-governmental organizations also play a role. Billions in taxpayer dollars and private donations pour into these groups to handle waves of migrants. Housing, legal services, nutrition, healthcare. Many do good work, but the system creates incentives for more migration, not less. The question: are these organizations solving the crisis or perpetuating it? Let's talk about the law. America's current asylum system is riddled with loopholes. Cross the border illegally, claim fear of persecution, and you're often released pending a court date years in the future. The odds of showing up? Less than 50%. Meanwhile, truly desperate refugees who try to do things legally wait years in limbo. Is this justice? Or is it, as critics claim, a system that rewards breaking the law and punishes those who play by the rules? But let's flip the coin. Is it all chaos and corruption? Maybe not. Some argue that Washington simply can't keep up with the sheer numbers. Underfunded, overwhelmed, and hamstrung by outdated laws, border agents are stretched to the limit. Is it incompetence on a historic scale? Perhaps. But when failure becomes predictable over decades, some say it starts to look intentional. Here's a breaking development. More Americans than ever, including Hispanic and immigrant voters, are turning against open border policies. Recent polls show a bipartisan majority want stronger enforcement and less chaos. Many legal immigrants, who played by the rules, feel betrayed by a system that rewards line jumpers and creates backlash against all immigrants, legal or not. Now let's look globally. Most civilized countries, Canada, Australia, Japan, have strict immigration controls. Try jumping the line in those countries, and you face immediate deportation. So why is America's border debate so different? Is there something unique about our politics, or are there powerful interests who benefit from keeping the borders porous? As we wrap up, one fact is inescapable. A nation without secure borders cannot remain a nation for long. Whether it's the result of incompetence or a deliberate strategy, America's open border is unsustainable. The stakes aren't just economic or political, they're existential. Our security, our laws, and our very way of life hang in the balance. So, what can we do? Some say, finish the wall. Others say, overhaul our asylum system. Still others say we need to reduce incentives for illegal migration, end birthright citizenship, tighten welfare eligibility, and hold employers accountable. These are tough solutions, but tough problems call for tough answers. Is America up to the challenge? Before we close, let's remember, this debate isn't just about policy, it's about people. The families risking everything to find a better life. The law enforcement officers putting their lives on the line every day. The American families watching their communities change, for better or worse. Compassion and security aren't mutually exclusive, but finding the balance is the challenge of our era. Thank you for joining us on Factual America. Now, I want to hear from you. Is America's border crisis a result of incompetence, or is it designed chaos? Who really benefits from the confusion at our border? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, share this video, and subscribe. We want to hear what topics matter most to you. Until next time, keep questioning, keep seeking truth, and stay factual, America.